Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
So, as we enter the next week, I want to challenge you all to shut your mouth. Not only shut your mouth, but also open your eyes, your ears, whatever senses that you have. Appreciate them to the greatest degree that you can. It may not be perfect. I know. I really do know. I've been without proper vision, hearing, but appreciate those senses to the greatest degree that you can, and let those be enhanced so that you'll live the best life you can with or without MS. Again, not just living with MS, but thriving with MS.
Hi, this is Dawn Melanie with my latest episode of Managing Self. As always, I set out with the intentions to show you all, my listeners, how I manage myself. Manage myself dealing with multiple sclerosis now for over 2 decades. In fact, today is actually 911, my 911. Today is September 11th, 2019, and it's the 21st anniversary of when my MS symptoms onset. When I first recalled a steady interruption in my daily routines by what later I found out was because of MS. It was MS symptoms. My routine, I guess it was disrupted. People say, well, what was disrupted? It's like, I was used to doing things a certain way. A routine is basically a sequence of actions that's regularly followed. Kind of like a fixed program, kind of, do X, Y, Z, or do things in order. And mine was messed up. I mean, I couldn't. I had an intention tremor. My primary symptom was the intention tremors that occurred throughout the day. It affected my speech. I would stutter. My vision, I would have to squint my eye. My hand was uncontrollable, shaking. I couldn't hold anything without dropping it. Happens a little bit today still, but it was really, really, really bad at the onset. The walking, when I would have this, I call it episode, the right side of my body would just kind of freeze, and I had no control. Later I learned that MS was the one in control. People say, oh, I have MS, it doesn't have me. And I say that to this day, but I tell you, during those episodes, the times where I had an exacerbation or flare-up or something like that, I hate to say it, but man, MS had me. People say, hey, how did you take the news when you were diagnosed with MS? My diagnosis came exactly 6 months after my first symptoms onset. And so I was diagnosed March 11th, 1999. I'll never forget the doctor saying, you have MS, and me replying, great, because now I could address this invisible monster, shall I say, because prior to the diagnosis, I didn't have a name or a face or anything to attribute my my problems, so my challenges in life. Like I said, the physical hiccups that my body was experiencing. Once I got the diagnosis, I was more or less happy because I could now address it head to head. So, as far as my routine, you guys know that I'm all about fitness. Fitness has been a major part of my lifestyle since I was 17 years old when I started college. And I'll go ahead and say it, over 29 years ago, 1990. So 17 years old, been into fitness. I consider myself living I don't want to say boring, but not so exciting lifestyle. Kind of well thought out, a planned lifestyle. So my fitness activities. I worked out in university, and that allowed me to not get stressed out with my accounting courses. I continued that through my first jobs, throughout my whole career in corporate America. Really worked out a lot studying for the CPA exam. It's funny, people go to the library. I studied on the treadmill. There's my books, my flashcards, what have you. Or I'd study on the streetcar, going to the park, or sit in the park sometimes just study. First things first, I always say. So, I use the physical activity. I could study and have fun. Well, that wasn't so much fun, but this was kind of fun. Hanging out at the park was fun. A lot of times I would take food there. This is me. I would take a po' boy and sit on the lakefront, Lake Pontchartrain in New Orleans, and I would study. I was studying for the CPA exam, especially when I started working and my comp time started to build. So many hours of working, either cash out or just take time off. I would take a week or two off just to have fun and relax, catch my breath, slow it down. Something that I did then, and I'll admit, as my work career progressed, I started to lose the. I stopped realizing how important it is to slow down, to stop and take a breath. Have fun. Have fun with my friends, my family, which I've always done. I still do, and usually involves me with food. I think that's very important. I'm real good at having fun. And I consider that an overview of my life. Now, I have had some bumps and bruises, some detours, shall I say, on my road to happiness, but overall, I say that my life has been good. And I think the primary component, or shall I say, what I attribute that to primarily is my strong faith. My strong faith, I think that sets the tone of my life. And like I said, when things are good, it's easy. When things are tough, that's when our faith is challenged. And I know as long as I keep steadfast faith, things will work out just fine. But things just don't happen, shall I say. I know that, I started off talking about routines. Like I said, my MS disrupted my lifestyle, disrupted my routine, and I had to readjust or recalibrate that. Literally, okay, I do a lot of things that I did before. It's just that I do them differently. So it's okay. I mean, there's some things I can't do, some things I don't do anymore. Like I don't go ride in the Texas heat on my bike anymore. In fact, I don't even bicycle anymore because it's so hot here in Texas, and I don't want to get kind of spooked by the traffic and things like that. And if that happens, I'm going to my body's going to lock up and I'll have an tension tremor. So that's not safe to be riding a bicycle in traffic and have my body kind of lock up on me. So there's things I don't do anymore, but the things I do, like I said, I do them maybe differently, and that's okay. Either way, I know that I have to plan. I have to plan a lot for my routine. And so basically, I look at my routine as me taking advantage of, I'd say limited resources. I know one limited resource. One resource a lot of us take for granted is time. And time is, I think it's the most limited resource of them all. There's only 24 hours in a day. And that's for optimally speaking. I know for me, I don't know how many hours in a day. I know after about 4 or 5 hours after I wake up, I'm on the downhill. I get a little tired. I need a nap. So I have to figure out my day of when I can do stuff. So when I'm able to, I go full speed, knowing that I'm not going to last. So I take advantage of my time. Get things like errands taken care of early in the morning before it starts, before my day starts, before it gets too late in traffic and all the things of life that happens. It's hard sometimes just want to lay there in bed and not get up, but I'm like, oh, well, gee, if you don't do that, you'll never get anything done. So that's when I say our self-discipline, my self-discipline comes into play. My routine is, hey, get first things first. That takes discipline. And get up and get out and do it. Sometimes it's raining, cold, who cares? I hate both, but, I have to do it. So that's self-discipline, the willpower to do this no matter what. Because I'm like, oh, you know what? Things will be better if I address them. Not just ignore them or think that it's not going to happen. So that's my take on it. I say it keeps me sane. Mason Curry said, a solid routine fosters a well-worn groove for one's mental energies and helps stave off the tyranny of moods. I read that and I was like, I like that, because a lot of times we get upset or kind of frazzled by something, and it's that feelings or emotions or moods. Our moods are affected. Stuff's going to happen in life. Stuff's going to happen, but it's how do we process it? How do we handle it? That's what's important, I think, foremost. How we deal with whatever that happens, that occurs in our life. Our moods, we're in control, and that's what I tell people all the time. Crap can happen, pardon me, but how do you deal with it? That's what defines more so who you are. I know that's how it defines who I am, because I have stuff all the time that's not ideal. I talked to a lady today in the grocery store, and she's like, oh, I could cry, and I'm like, huh? I'm not trying to make you cry, but she's like, just talking to her about things, and she's like, it was I guess touching to her. She's like, you've gone through so much. I said, yeah, but the point is, I've handled it, and that's what I wanted to impart on her and say, well, yeah, I've gone through things, especially with MS, but I'm managing myself and staying positive. So so actually, she said she could have cried, but she didn't. So she was actually happy, and she was happy for me. For a moment, I did think that was odd. Here I am talking to a lady, and she said she could potentially cry after talking to me, but she left with a smile on her face, and she was very jovial, and so was I. I thought that was interesting, because the same thing happened a couple days prior at the gym. I was talking to a trainer. We're just, I don't even remember what we're talking about. Something silly, I'm sure. But as we continue our conversation, I said, hold on a second. I said, kind of like pause. I didn't say shut your mouth. I said pause. And she goes, huh? I said, thank you. She goes, what? I said, thank you again. Because me listening to her, just about life and just handling things, just managing life, I appreciate it. So I stopped her to thank her, and I said, it was like she was speaking to my soul, because she was saying things that I already know about myself, but to hear someone speak about it in a roundabout way, not say, hey, you should do X, Y, and Z, or do this and do that to get to whatever result, but just talking to someone casually. It was very, it was enlightening. I really did appreciate it. We were actually talking about journaling. And I said, yeah, I start, and I have several, and I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, and I want everything to be perfect, everything laid out, indexed correctly, just optimally, like, a picture perfect journal. And unfortunately, that's delayed my start to getting to goals that I would like to accomplish. So, I think routines, that's what we're talking about, routines with changing lives, just life changes in general. And this is actually just one of them. It's a big one for me, multiple sclerosis, but that's been pretty steady, since, like I said, 21 years now. But there's other things, relationships, all that kind of stuff is dynamic. And one thing we can benefit, I know that I can benefit from on a regular basis, is identifying my daily priorities. Not just going, oh yeah, I need to do this, but really taking time and the effort to identify those priorities. It may seem like, oh, that's obvious, well, do that, duh. But when you write it down, like, okay, this is what's most important. Like I said, first thing, I think Stephen Covey said it, first things first. Take the time to write that down. It reinforces it in our brain, our thought process. Do that in the morning and also at night, kind of in preparation for the next day. And we're just talking about little steps like this. I'm like, you know what, I need to do this more. That nighttime journaling or jotting stuff down, it kind of helps the subconscious mind. You know, we're thinking about it. So even while we're sleeping and we wake up, I've noticed myself personally, I've noticed that it kind of frees up so much worrying about being unprepared for the next day. You know, I wake up, I have a plan. I know what I'm going to do. That's probably my greatest takeaway of shutting my mouth. Like I said, the lady I met today at the store, and also with the trainer at the gym a couple of days ago. I shut my mouth when I'm sleeping. Well, because I don't sleep with my mouth open, but I'm quiet. I'm not talking. I'm not active in a conversation, but nonetheless, I do wake up and I have these ideas that are, I guess, percolating while I'm sleeping, and almost planning the conversation that I do want to have, that I want to occur the next day, tasks that I want to accomplish, goals that I want to work on. That helps. Like I said, basically what I'm saying is slow it down. I'm shutting my mouth. I'm slowing down. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm kind of a little hyper here, but that's just my normal speed. My norm is a fast pace. I'll never forget one of my directors, boss at work. I often said he was like, he's the worst boss ever. But as I'm older now, I say he was like the best boss, because the things that I took away from working for him, things that he pointed out to me, just the details, be very meticulous in details. So don't do anything haphazardly, or should I say half-assed. And I think, gosh, you gotta be so seriously. But yeah, all staples have to be at a 45 degree angle on the left side. That was the way things were done. Seems a little weird, but guess what? I didn't get those random paper cuts or things like that. It just makes things easier. Things are in order. Corporate environment, it's okay. I look at it and go, man, that's why I'm so calculated today is a lot of that background. And that's okay, because of the being meticulous, documenting things, having things in order, it's helped me in life in so many situations. It's helped me with my MS. It helped me to help my doctors get to the bottom of the situation. I had everything that occurred with me documented in my Franklin Covey very meticulously, time of day, how long the episode lasts. If I couldn't talk about if my tongue froze up, I wrote it down. I'd tell what time it was, what I was doing, how intense the episode was. My leg locked up, my hand. I wrote all that down, and I came to them. I said, here's the information. One thing is, I tell people, they get caught up in the doctors say, my doctor told me to take this or don't do this. And I was like, no. Our doctors work for us. So I tell my doctors what I'm taking and what I'm not, and why. I do use him or her as a medical counsel. They can, I feel we can we can discuss the situation, how I feel, and ultimately I'm making that decision. So, I've learned to listen more, talk less, slow down, shut my mouth and slow down. But I know no one knows me better than me, and I encourage everybody out there listening to do remember that you guys know your bodies better than anybody. So speak up when it's necessary, but if you can, bite your tongue. That's what my mom always says, bite your tongue. I just say, shut up. Shut up when the time is appropriate, because it's amazing what you can learn and take away from any given situation if you just slow it down, be patient, and let things run its course, but not try to direct the course. And that's another thing that's hard for me, is to not be in control of everything. I'll share with you guys that people say, kind of like, don't you just hate MS? And sometimes I say yeah, sometimes I say no, probably depending on the day, how I feel. But, you know, I think I had a show, I titled it, I Love My MS, because people are like, wait, what? I said, yeah, man, I love my MS because MS over the 20-something years, it's helped me to slow down, appreciate life, appreciate the good things in life, appreciate the not so good things in life, because they're probably temporary anyway. You know, if you have faith that things are going to be good, you know, it just makes you appreciate it. I say, you know, I can't appreciate a bad meal or a bad experience at a restaurant if they're all super great. But, you know, when you have a not successful, off-putting meal or experience at a dining establishment, you know, you really do appreciate that really good experience. So I'm like, you know what, it's with the bad ones, the bad experiences in life, that we can appreciate even more so the good experiences in life. So MS has definitely showed me how to do that. I always say I appreciate the negative, because the negative isn't going to last forever. I appreciate the negative, and I celebrate my abilities. I never use the word disability, because everybody has a disability. Who cares? What matters to me, and it should matter to each one of you out there listening, is what should matter is your abilities to do something. And I know that we all can't do the same things as someone else. That's fine, because, well, MS is unique. Is that the snowflake disease? My abilities are different every day, but I celebrate what I can do, when I can do it, if I can do it, and never say, woe is me. My glass is always half full, it's never half empty. Now, I do realize I probably came up a little strong telling each of you guys and girls, to shut up. I do apologize if I offended anyone out there, but please, before anybody gets offended, or if you have been, I ask you to take a moment and think of me. That is what you know of me, Dawn, or Dawn Melanie. I'm always Dawn. I thank you all for allowing me to welcome me into your homes, your car, wherever you are listening to the broadcast. Allow me into your world. You know, I've said it before. Everything that I say, I mean it. I mean it. No take back. I can't really say I'm sorry for saying that. I may say I'm sorry you took it the wrong way, or maybe you're offended. Like, I don't mean to offend anybody today by saying shut up. It was just for emphasis on to get your attention. Like I said, it could be synonymous. I look at it as being synonymous with just chill out, or slow it down. Like I said, I'm often a fast-paced individual, and sometimes I need to slow it down. I know shut up seems harsh, because it is usually a stern, very, very, very direct, very harsh directive to abruptly stop talking. Like, I guess like you. I guess I don't really like that negative. It seems somewhat has a very strong negative connotation. I'm not a fan of it either, as it's usually not gentle. Not saying that I'm so gentle, but I do consider myself compassionate. That's one thing with MS, having MS for so long. I see my situation, I see other situations, and I understand more than people may know, because they see me at any given time and not realize that, well, I've had no vision in one eye at times. I've lost my hearing probably at least 4 times. The stumbling, the walking, the drop foot, the intention tremors, the cog fog. I've had that. I mean, heck, the cog fog is my primary reason why I don't work my full-time job anymore, because kind of hard being a consultant, audit consultant, traveling different states, different countries, and going, what, and kind of forgetting where you are, what you're doing at any given time. It's amazing. So, they say blame it on the alcohol. I say, hey, blame it on the MS. So, as I close this week's episode of Managing Self, I want to share with you all my upcoming day, or should I say, my upcoming day and evening routines in reverse order, as my evening shall occur first. And evening routines are actually basically set for the next day. So I look at it as start to finish. I consider my start to be this evening for tomorrow's day. We often hear start to finish. I've never heard start to middle. So that's how I'm going to start identifying my day for tomorrow. I'll do the regular things like that. Wash up, get ready for bed, maybe meditate or pray. And I'll do that both morning or daytime and evening routines. Think of what I should do for the day, what's remaining, what to do for the next day. Today, I'll be honest, I didn't exercise. Shame on me. Something came up and I didn't. It's okay. I'm sure I can get by. But tomorrow, it's on my agenda, exercise and actually just make sure things are in place. Like I said, something came up today and I hadn't planned for it, so I feel it's best that I slow down, take a step back, shut up, and plan for my day, as opposed to having things on array or out of sequence, shall I say, without any control on my part. My thing is I want to basically keep my day pretty simple. Keep it simple, stupid. I want to kiss my day. Like I said, the journaling may not be for you. Just something that I said, well, I need to do more of. I like things documented, so that's for me. As far as the paper journal, I'm like, you know what? I'm really a digital girl. I like to be able to store things digitally, so that works best for me. So I recognize that, and that's how I'm going to move forward with my journaling, my daily journaling, which I'm going to do. It's just something that I think will help me get control, or have even better control of my day, my life. It's little things that matter sometimes. Little things matter more than the bigger things, because little things add up. They're all relevant. Sometimes it's not really the substance of it, but actually just the act that matters. And I'm realizing that in life, that sometimes the most important thing is the act. That's most important. This has been Dawn Melanie. Thank you for listening.